What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Niche Talk.
We are powered by... Oh, that's not that part? Oh, okay. Sorry.
As always, I'm Lewis, aka I'm Real Vibe across all social media platforms, and I got two people to my left today.
Damn, you're not going to introduce me?
I'm not going to introduce you today.
That's crazy work.
New space, new me, bro.
Oh, okay. What's up, guys? Jerome, aka 215 Shooter on all social platforms. Glad to be here with you guys today. And to my left, I have somebody to my left now. That's crazy work. It's also a Ash.
What's up, y'all? My name is Ashley. I'm Ashley Hall on social. I'm a content creator, media personality, but we'll talk a little more about that later.
We'll dive into that a little bit more. Appreciate you for being our official first guest of the pod in the new space.
Yes.
Welcome to Encanto. It's a sneakerhead cafe, a good cross collaboration here in the heart of Philadelphia. So if you're local, pull up, you can get some sneaks, you can get some clothes, and get a nice little matcha while you're at it. We'll start this episode off as we usually do. We're going to either break down the fit, the latest pickup, or what's on feet. Ash, let's start with you first.
All right, so it's Women's History Month, so I'm wearing my Aleli May 14s, one of my favorite, the Fortune 14s.
The Fortune 14s are so clean.
Solid period.
Thank you.
Super solid.
I love her.
We going this way?
Yeah, how about you, Grant?
We're bringing it around town? Around town. All right. I'm going to go with latest pickup. My latest pickup would be the Union Air Jordan 1. You know?
The lost and found, not so lost and found.
Oh, it was found in the shadows.
It was, wow. Patent pending. Wow. That's crazy. We got to pan to Will because he's
Will's over it. It just started. He's over it.
Look at them in their neutrals.
All right, so I will go with break down the fit.
Okay.
It's been a minute since we did that. Like Ashley said, we got Women's Appreciation Month, so I had to break out the off-white 4s, a beautiful pair that sees no light in my collection because we don't got to talk about that. We got the Street Market Supply denim, and then I also have this t-shirt thermal from Monday Sucks, and then I believe this is, I think Max designed this one.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, this is not with Hat Club, but that's neither here nor there. And then, just a couple accessories. So that is the fit for today. So we have a lot to talk about today. Like we said, it is Women's Appreciation Month. So we wanted to make sure we had one of our really good friends on the pod for this. So we love you too, yo.
Well, first, right?
Oh,
we want to give Ashley the opportunity to, just tell the people more about yourself and, what you do and everything in between.
and how you got to where you at today?
Ooh, child. All right, so I'm a content creator, media personality. I first started blogging back in 2013, and I initially started in the natural hair beauty space, and it wasn't until 2016-ish, I would show up to natural hair events wearing sneakers, and my mentor would be like, "Why don't you post this on social?" And I'm like, "Nobody wants to see that," and she's like, "A black girl from the Bronx that wears sneakers, and nobody wants to see that?" Okay. She didn't say anything else. So that's when I really started to post more about sneakers. 2018, I kind of went into it full throttle. And then I kind of just made a major pivot. So from there, I've worked with L'Oreal, Maybelline, Fenty, Foot Locker, Nike, Jordan Brand, eBay, and a lot of others. I've also done consulting for Nike and Jordan as well. Now I'm still doing content creation full time. And I also am on a podcast as well called The Soul Table.
That's beautiful.
Thank
You have many accolades to
you.
be proud of.
Thank
And I still remember the first time you hit me up, it's when you first moved to Philly.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, off rip, just doing a shoot for Nike.
Yeah.
And that was at a point where I was just I wasn't even anything in my eyes, right? And you saw that potential and that created a really dope friendship with all of us. So appreciate you for being you and creating that connection, because now you neighbor.
That's
neighbor.
always.
Neighbor.
I'm always gonna be neighbor.
It'll always gonna be neighbor.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Actually, we met through DTLR.
Yeah.
I hit you up for a campaign, and then we kind of was like, "Oh yeah, we could be doing other things."
DTL
Inside of DTLR at the time, and it was just hey, you know what? Real people recognize real people, and we just kind of hit it off. And
all I gotta say is, if you are a brand and you have a budget for your models, please understand what you are putting these people through and what you're expecting, because that has to match the output.
So I have a off-topic question, but still relatable to your introduction. So how did we come upon the name the Bronx Baddie?
Oh, so funny enough, one of my homegirls who she locked her hair now, but we used to be in like the natural hair space together.
Okay.
We had like a duo page at the time. And that was one of the hashtags that she would use, like Bronx baddies, whatever, because we're both from the Bronx. And after a while, we just stopped uploading on like the duo page. And we would still like hashtag our stuff separately. And then after a while, I just kind of like continued with it and she kind of stopped. And of course, it's like, it's more to it. It's like, yeah, I'm from the Bronx. Baddie, of course, people associate physically. But on top of that, it's like people don't know that I'm actually very smart. I have 2 degrees. Like all of that kind of stuff, in my opinion, goes into what it means. So,
Talk that
baddie,
talk.
so, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, in honor of having you on the show, and me and Lou, we talked about this before, and we would love to have a woman's perspective from you being on both sides of the industry. How do you feel when there's always the negative connotation of that in order for women to get ahead and to be successful, or when they are successful, that usually comes by way of something that's usually overly sexualized or shortcuts and stuff like that, when we know that's not the actual case?
Yeah. Funny enough, I just had this conversation. It's kind of like a slap in the face to your work ethic. People, I feel like, automatically assume like, because of the way that I look, I get the opportunities that I get. But I'm like, it's really a lot of hard work that goes into this. Like, it's a lot of meetings. It's a lot of connecting with the right people. Kind of like being in alignment and being in the right place at the right time in order to get the opportunities. Because it's like, there are times people are like, oh yeah, like we have a list of people that are on our radar before you. And we need to kind of get through the list first before we get to you. And I'm like, damn, like how many people's on that list? So it's been a while. Like, for example, I think my first time in like the Nike office was like 2019 or 2020, something like that. So I didn't get like my first paid gig with them until 2021. So I'm like, there's really like a list of things or like things that have to happen in order for you to be considered for any opportunity. So like, yeah, it's a lot of hard work that goes into it. Y'all already know being content creators, it's literally blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot that goes into it. It's a waiting game as well. But like I said, it's a slap in the face to like somebody's work ethic to automatically assume that something is sexual based or a shortcut is taken. There's literally no shortcuts with this.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I feel like that usually comes from, unfortunately, the male community, and or if not the male community, the saltiness.
You would be surprised.
So that's what I was getting to. So like, I'm pretty sure that it's a lot of women that it comes from a place of, you know, jealousy and stuff like that, and it's projecting almost of like, okay, like, well, in order for you to take advantage of this opportunity, then maybe that's something you would have done. But it's like, hey, everybody's not moving that way. People bust their ass to get where they want to be, you know?
For sure. And it's funny because this was years ago, but I will never forget. And I think I might still have the screenshot. I keep my receipts. Somebody had tweeted like, y'all give the same campaigns to the same girl all the time. It's always the light-skinned, blonde, curly hair. And I light-skinned and I have blonde, curly hair. So I took a screenshot and I was like, I'm gonna hold this in my folder. Because God forbid, but it's like if an opportunity ever comes up, babe, you throwing subs. So it's like, why would I put your name in a hat if I'm literally seeing a sub? So it comes from a place of jealousy, but also I really want people to really think about it. Like, I can't help how I look. Y'all act like I drummed it up in like a, mixed it up in a pot. And I was like, yeah, this is what it's going to give. I can't help how I look. But what I can say is that like when opportunities do present themselves, am I able to put other people's name in a hat? Yes. Do I do that? Yes. But people really have to understand, like, there's still like a waiting game and a list of things that kind of like have to happen before I kind of like am able to get that invite or like that seat at the table.
A statement like that to me is crazy in terms of like, oh, you always giving it to the same person. First, people have to take a step back and acknowledge the fact that a lot of beauty related things at one point were literally just white women.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a big step up for the melanated women out there to even have an opportunity and be on the same roster. Yeah, to be seen. And it's really crazy how much the industry has changed. Now, granted, cool, those people are getting an acknowledgement, like even like models with what's that skin condition? Yeah, even stuff like that. Now it's beautiful to see those people getting opportunities, but then you also it wasn't always like that, but you also have to realize it's also a like ploy with the business because they know that stuff like that is going to generate more revenue.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's marketing.
it sucks.
It's all marketing.
Marketing really gets sticky for the individual because then you start to realize like, damn, I'm literally just like a ploy to make y'all more money. And granted, that gets me more interest, more campaigns, all that kind of stuff. And it's great. Visibility, all that stuff. But when you really break it down, people have to understand how far we've all come.
Yeah.
Because not just with the women, but men too.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, like you just don't see us on TV, billboards, anything like that, unless it was like stand-up comedy or rap battles or BET, right? But now it's just like, it's very much more, I'm gonna say mainstream and it's more accepted. But like comments like that, it's just like, it's obvious that a lot of people were not raised right. And it all comes from like a terrible upbringing, unfortunately. But you've been able to do a lot and that's beautiful.
Thank you.
You know what it is too? People look at it so narrow-minded that they don't look at everything. It's forever changing.
Of course.
Because I remember me and Will had a conversation at one point where we were trying to diversify the models at work. And we noticed, we were like, hey, well, this may sound odd, but we like, all the men we use are dark-skinned brothers. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, I love my melanated people as I am myself, but I'm like, there's also light skin and brown skin and there's non-black people and stuff like that. So it's like when people latch on to like, oh, like you say, like, oh, like light skin, curly, like, okay, so at one point it shifted away from that to the point where now it will be harder for you because to the corporations, they know that now darker skin is what they want to attach themselves to make it seem like they're down. So it's like, okay, so now you're getting the shit into the stick. And then at one point, you know, everything was happening in the country and it took a big shift towards Asian people. So then what? It was like, there's always something for somebody to complain about, you know?
It's always a shift. What is it? Like, what's the game? Tug of war kind of.
Tug of war. Oh, yeah.
Like, it shifts all the time. So it's like, even now, it's like, yeah, I'm still getting opportunities, but I also feel like because I don't have hair now, some of those opportunities have changed. They're like a bit different. So yeah.
Every key detail about you is a make or break for some brand.
For sure.
But what I do like about you is that you don't let changing yourself stop you from being you at your core.
Oh yeah, no,
right?
absolutely not.
Because I remember when you were debating the big chop and like you were very public about that and like you were like really worried about the change that might come with that big chop and you seem happier, not in a bad way, but like it's freeing and from one curl person to the next. Like I understand the maintenance, the like
tiring.
it's tiring. And there's days where I wake up and I'm like, yo, do I really just cut my hair? And I'm like, nobody's ready to see that big ass forehead again, you know? but
it's
go ahead.
Like, even now with me having shorter hair, like it's still a lot of maintenance that goes into it for sure. Like I can't just, if I have a bad hair day, it's no ponytail. If I got a bad hair day, it's a hat.
It's a hat. Yeah, look,
that's
here we are.
I'm relegated to a hat. Like that's all I got. So yeah, it's like it was like a big kind of like back and forth because I'm like, damn, like if I cut this, then I might take myself out of these opportunities. But if I don't cut this, I might pigeonhole myself into only getting X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I, like you said, still be and maintain who I am in my core essence if I'm scared to make this change? Because prior to that, my hair had been black. It had been strawberry blonde. It had been blonde, all types of shades of blonde, back to brown, change the shape, cut this, you know, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm like, if that's part of my identity, me cutting it all off is not going to change anything.
Facts.
And that's also you understanding who you are as a person, knowing that
I'm me.
it's you.
I'm me.
Like
I'm me.
everything is
Since
gonna
the day
come.
I met you, I was like,
I'm me. That's
she's her
Right, and
at your core.
big energy. Like,
Yep, exactly.
I am who I am. You want to accept me
or not. Yeah.
or not, and that's
I'm
it.
very black and white.
And
I'm very black and white.
that's very much New York energy and like
It's either you like me or you don't.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I remember a lot of people asking me like because we were shooting a lot and they'd be like, how is she like as a person? I'm like, if I could define a New York woman,
It's me.
that's Ashley. And like you either, like you said, you either love it or hate it. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what comes with being like a thoroughbred New Yorker. Right. And it's
But
never
also,
gonna
like
be
you
out
said,
of
like
you.
knowing who you are. It's like I know who I am.
exactly.
Like, you can't tell me something about myself that I don't already know.
So to all the women onlooking, everyone onlooking, young, old, whatever, just let that sink in and understand that it's not necessarily about the things that's going on. It's who you are and staying true to yourself and then getting where you want to be by staying true to that, which a lot of people can't do.
It takes a longer road for sure, but it's like as long as you're maintaining that, you good.
Understand that overnight success is not reality.
Oh yeah, no,
right?
overnight success is 5-10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum.
So as long as you're you, whether you want to portray yourself a certain way or not, as long as you are you at your core, you're going to get to where you want to get to at the end of the day. Yeah. That's literally what it is. Yeah. So free game from all three of us is to be yourself, have fun, and just let it rock. Yeah. That's it. So in appreciation for Women's Appreciation Month, right? I want you to fire off on your favorite female rap artists.
Oh my God.
Yes. Who is that, first of all?
I don't know. I just do that voice. I don't know.
Is that the Bronx baddie creeping up?
It just comes out. I don't know why.
I think that's the alter ego for real.
Legend. Okay, favorite female rappers. All right, I love Remy Ma. I love Remy Ma growing up. Lil Kim, of course.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj. I love Cardi. Missy Elliott, Eve.
Damn. We definitely in the same age bracket. I love this.
All right, relax. Not too much. not too much.
Look, somebody.
I'm like, what does that mean? Because I know all these people too.
Somebody said the other day I look like I was 25. I was like,
I'll take it. That'd be me.
Yeah.
You don't look that. Love that. Thank you. That would have to be my list here. And of course, Lil Kim.
Lil Kim for sure. You definitely do give Lil Kim energy. I can see that.
Oh my God. Nah, of course, it's like, I feel like Kim is like, she gets the ball rolling.
So let's tie this into a question. Out of everyone that you just listed, right? Who could you see having their own sneaker line or like campaign with the Nikes, the Jordans, the Adidas?
Right. Because some already have.
Some already do have.
Yeah. Creative wise, I would feel like Missy would probably be like one of the best ones.
Missy would kill it.
Would be one of the best ones for sure, creative wise. Like when you think about like the video with the the plastic suit, thinking about all of that kind of stuff and like where her mind goes creatively when it came to like music and videos, I would love to see that on the shoe.
I would love to see that resurgence of music videos for like a campaign.
Them kids ain't ready, please.
Nah, bro.
The kids is not. They're not doing it.
We don't
doing it like that.
We could go into that, like how the sneaker industry now, like the YNs, as they say.
Yeah.
As they say, the YNs. Yeah, that's how you know we old.
It used to be just the young boys. Now it's the YNs.
Yeah, the YNs. Like it's really crazy. The industry shift, right? And what these brands are doing to try and cater to our demographic versus like not really worrying about the YNs. Yeah. Like look at the Galaxy foams, look at the 85 breads, look at all of these shoes that they're coming out with. They don't care about the younger demographic anymore. They're trying to keep us as customers throughout the test of time. And it's just really crazy how a lot of those things, while they're not sitting, they're not hitting those resale numbers that they used to hit back in the day.
I'm loving it.
Same. Frank Cook posted about this, I feel like it was sometime last year, if not earlier this year. But pretty much he was talking about like how storytelling needs to like make a resurgence. And I will give Nike their kudos because they've been doing a really good job. But he's pretty much talking about how it needs to tie the then and the now. So he's calling it nostalgia of like merging the two together so that you're getting the storytelling, but also keeping it up to date to get the YNs. So
Felt. That's a good way to bridge that gap. Yeah, for sure.
Because they were at the mercy of just buying something because it's hype or something along them lines, where we had the
full, like what not.
I don't think hype was really a thing for us in that manner.
No, it was.
Wait, did you say hype wasn't really a thing for us?
Not in the manner it was today.
Oh yeah. Okay. I was about to say.
Hold up. I was looking at an East Bay book or.
That's a little old.
So Woody stuff like that.
That's a little old. The book.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so.
But I was on like the J23 app, like on the website.
Oh, J23. Yeah,
that's the whole East Bay book. That's where the. There's a little.
You feeling the.
I'm just saying. Why old are you, Luke? Maybe I didn't have the East Bay books. That's probably maybe I
was in Philadelphia County in New York. Right?
Look. I will credit the Philadelphia Inquirer. They catching the smoke right now for an article that they just dropped. saying that like Philadelphia is basically the sixth borough of New York because everyone's moving down here from New York. I don't agree with that statement because it like disrespects New York. But the running joke is that when I was growing up in New York, all I knew was New York. So when my mom told me we was moving to Philly, I was like,
told me.
where is that? Like,
Yeah, is that on the east side? Or?
I was like, is that like further than Queens or like, so that's the running. But look, Philadelphia Inquirer said it. So
The storytelling then was very relative.
Yeah.
You knew everything. It was the hottest thing that was out, especially like the basketball campaigns.
Yeah.
Everything was like dope, from the Bo Jackson campaigns, Jordan campaigns, the NBA campaign. Like everything was just a different time, and it was like, hey, we know what our customers want. Let's give that to them, but let's play into it. Now it's just like, hey, here's a new Reebok coming out. Here you go.
We're gonna bring these back.
Yeah, like,
And
okay.
they just open in the vault like to try and stay relevant. And like I said, all these brands are really right now trying to cater to the older demographic because like they know we already have brand loyalty and they're trying to keep it now. They're trying to keep it.
That's because they know the YNs don't want to work, so they ain't got the money.
All the YNs want to do is buy shoes to try and flip them at shows and try to make viral moments.
With tables, and I'm like, nobody, baby, all them shoes that you wore them with, you leaving with them things.
Unless somebody does a buyout, a whole table buyout.
Nobody's doing it.
$800 for breads, but $400 on gold. Why would I spend an extra?
Yeah, the crazy thing.
Sent to your door. That's how.
The crazy thing is everyone utilizes that app as like the
baseline
standard for pricing. It's just that's what killed it. Like when StockX blew up, I really feel as though that's what ruined the sneaker industry as a whole. Like for the beginning of it. Like I think
because resale was always there.
Yeah,
but it wasn't the way it is now.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's also dying. I will say so.
Thankfully, yes. We love that.
Oh, for
we
sure.
love
For
that.
sure.
Like I'm waiting for them Galaxy foams to just.
Yeah, because if your retail was $225 and now all I got to do is add an extra $15 on that, love it. Send them to me.
And it's coming straight to the door. I don't got to go to the store.
Right.
Send it
Or shit, let it sit long enough and you'll be getting a discount.
Hello, not even under retail.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I even love, what is that? When you go on GOAT and the shoe not even out yet and it's under retail.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh.
You see them?
Get it early?
You see them little red letters under retail right now. We can expedite this process, and I'm still paying under retail.
Yep.
Run that.
Let's do it.
Go storage, easy.
So I know we keep punching down that, it's Women's Appreciation Month, which every day is Women's Appreciation. I appreciate your women. You feel me?
Period.
But with that being said, from the perspective of a woman, what do you think are some pointers you can give a guy to make sure that they are hitting the notes of showing appreciation towards women as best as possible?
I feel like one of the biggest things is to listen. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that you can do. In professional spaces, I will say, like, bring up the names of women in those rooms that they might not have had a chance to be in yet. But I also think probably like the biggest thing, or like the third thing I will say, is protecting women, even the ones that you don't necessarily like or find attractive. I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things that a lot of people tend to miss. And you can't necessarily like cherry pick on who you deem worthy of protection. If you're going to sit here and be like, as a community or whatever, we should be protecting our women, that's all of the women in the community. Yeah.
Preach. We love that.
Triple down on that last one.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of people be very selective.
Yep.
So it's like, so you're not with protecting women, you're just
protecting the ones that you like and deem worthy of protection. Yeah.
To piggyback off of the first thing you said, where like listening, I very much appreciate that. But to take it a step further, I think it's like men specifically have to start listening to understand instead of listening to respond. Because I think men are very like quick trigger. Like men,
y'all come in with solutions.
Yes. We do.
Granted,
we do.
We appreciate it, but it's like sometimes I really just need to get this shit off. And I just want you to sit there and listen to me get this
facts.
off. Yeah.
Because from a male perspective, if I can get you from point A to point B in a faster motion without dealing with any bullshit, like cool, everything's gravy. But throughout my journey, I've definitely understood that like you just have to make sure that you're actually listening.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't need that roadmap.
Yeah.
You got to make sure
I just need to get this off.
Yeah. Felt.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
listen and listen to understand is a heavy thing that people to this day still really have problems with.
Yep.
So
Yep.
do that, people.
Period.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say this as a married man. Sometimes it ain't the solution. It's just listening to the problems and accepting them from what they are, and then shutting the fuck up about it and
Facts.
letting things happen the way they're going to happen, and then just be supportive.
Yeah.
And I know how sometimes we are like, oh well, we know you're going to fail, and if they do fail, be there to pick them back up.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fact. Because like there's moments where I allow things to happen even though I know what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah.
But
That's a people thing in
yeah,
general.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have to let people fail.
Yeah.
You can't save them and be their safety net every single time, because then they're not going to learn and they're not going to grow as an individual.
Yeah.
So, and that's a hard thing for some men to do, is to just sit back and like, because some people might feel like, damn, like I'm just like letting her fail, or I'm letting him fail, and like that's not who I am as a person. But sometimes that'll help you grow as an individual too, to take that seat and just kick back and just let the show go on.
Yep.
It's the understanding that to differentiate when it's not about you, then it's about them.
Facts.
That's the biggest thing I feel like people in general.
Yeah.
When you mean well, you're thinking of it from an aspect of, well, I mean well, I know this is going to happen. I'm trying to stop you, but it's like, yo, if they don't want you to stop them, like, bro, like let it happen, and don't be a Mr. I told you so type shit. Like, let it happen. And if they want to receive on the why, or you never know, like they may come to you and be like, yo, okay, now I see what you was talking about.
Yeah.
Then you go from there. But it's like, let it happen, let things happen. It's not always about you. And I know people take that in a negative way when they hear like about you, but it can be in a good way too. You can be overly about yourself because you're trying to help, and you end up doing more damage.
All right, so we see you have some sneaks on the couch. We're not going to have you rank your top 5 or nothing, because we're going to be here for like an hour.
All right.
Minimum.
Don't do that.
I'm saying from my experience, that's hard, because he had me do that. So talk to us about the sneaks on the couch and what they hold true to you as a sneakerhead.
Yeah, so these are some of my favorites. And because, of course, it's Women's History, I wanted to make sure that I highlighted some of my favorite silhouettes and releases that were dedicated or like strictly for women. So like my Off-White 4s are a favorite. I will never forget the day that I got these. I had early access. I was on a phone call, and I take all of my phone calls on speaker because I need to just see what's happening on the phone. So I saw like the sneaker thing drop down. You got early access for the sale Off-White 4s. I said, hey, I got to call you back. Hung up. I didn't care what they were saying on that line, but those are a favorite of mine. The Aleli May 6s.
Such a
My
beautiful
stupid
pair.
self, I missed those when they first released. And it bit me in the ass because I was like, these are going to be my infinity stones essentially. And I missed the release. But somebody was able to track a pair down, bought the wrong size for somebody, and was like, hey, they're women's 6. Are you interested? I said, baby, I'll squeeze the feet into them. I'll take them. The Air Max Muse is actually a newer silhouette. Jordan Childs was first seen in these, I believe, like July or August or something like that of last year.
Yeah.
And then for me, I'm very big on colorway when it comes to new releases. I feel like colorway plays a very important part with a new silhouette.
Facts.
And I feel like if the colorway doesn't hit on the shoe, then it's a miss. But I really like these. It's very like futuristic, very sleek. I have not worn these yet, but the women that I have seen wearing them have been eating those looks, so clock that. And my Vashti 2s, like these are another one where I will never forget when I got those.
Let's see those. Let's see those.
Oh my God.
Bring those over.
I'm scared to touch them.
Don't be afraid. It's okay.
But yeah, like my Vashti 2s, like I literally walked into a Foot Locker on Fordham Road,
Sheesh.
and they were on the shelf.
Fordham Road is crazy.
Yeah.
To hear that, to hear Fordham Road is wild.
A Foot Locker on Fordham Road, and they were on the shelf. And I said, wait, y'all still got these? And they were like, yeah. I said, yeah, let me get a 5.
The one on the corner, right? The
Yeah, the big one that was on the corner.
Oh my God.
So, like, that one-
brings me back.
So those
Look at
and
New York
the
connection.
white cement 3s at the same time were sitting on the shelf. And I was like, you got a 5 in those too? And they were like, yeah. I said, I'll take them.
this is a piece of history for you.
Yeah.
Like, easy.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for twos, so these are just beautiful.
Like I need them to stop playing with my girl.
Bring these back.
A re-release.
We need a
That's
re-release?
fine. Yeah.
Give those a little limelight. Nah, these are some really nice pairs that you brought in. I really do agree with how the first colorway is very
It has,
pivotal.
yeah,
Like,
it has to hit.
like prime example, look at the Jordan 4 RM.
Yep.
Right? First one was Nigel. And I believe they had to put somebody behind that RM to
get it
drive, to get it moving for the general release, because they came out with a bunch of colorways, if not at the same exact time that they dropped the Nigels, and like that just created that push that the brand needed for that new model, because a lot of people wasn't rocking with the RM,
Yeah. And
us included.
it's wild because like even with them releasing a bunch of colors after, because I did get a preview of these Fashion Week last year.
Okay.
So like all the colorways that were coming after.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, there was a couple colorways that were very similar to his, and I was just like, this looks very close. Like I feel like if I would have just like switched a lace out, it would have been the same shoe.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like I definitely agree. So like with his, that green,
Oh,
I still need those. Like
I've turned the page. I was like, okay, I like RMs. That green, we've never seen a shoe that green. I don't think, right? I'm not bugging.
It's gorgeous.
It's a beautiful green.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's like almost like an emerald green kind of.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. So like that, even like a lace swap on the gray ones, in my opinion, does does it a service essentially.
Shout out to Nigel. Shout out to the Brick by Bricks coming out. Hey yo, Nigel, you want to get on the pod, bro? Like that'd be sturdy. If anybody has
Bring a 5.
bring a 5, a 9.5,
And a 9.
and a 9. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Oh yeah,
And an 8.5.
and an 8.5 for Wilbert over there.
We need this many.
We need this many.
We need this many. We need this many.
The Air Maxes. They give me very much like Silver Bullet vibes.
Yeah.
Like the 97s.
And it's Air Max month as
And
well.
it is Air Max month.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. Yes. Yeah. That's why you're wearing Air
It's
Maxes.
a very wild silhouette.
Yeah. They look dumb comfortable.
Yeah. So they're super, like, I went and tried them on in the store because at first I was like, I liked how they look, but I was like, damn, I kind of need to see like what this gives on foot.
Yeah.
But once I was like, I might could do a couple things with these. I was like, yeah, I'm going to take these.
That's also the beautiful thing about the sneaker industry now is like we can
you
now
go to
go
a
in
store.
store and try pairs on that have been sitting. Like
Yeah.
I remember when the copper foams came back out, I was like, damn, it's been a minute since I had a foam posit on my foot.
Let me go see what
Let me see what it's hitting for. And to like understand that there was even a size 9 available because like, you know, New York and foams
Listen,
back in the day, it was
DC,
clipped.
yeah.
Clipped. You
wasn't
had
getting
no
them.
chance unless you
Yeah.
was camping out.
Yeah.
So to see copper foams on shelf, I was like, and I just took a picture, threw it on Threads. Everybody was like, yo, where this at? Where's this at? And I'm like, all right, so the drive is still there.
Yeah.
But foam posits to be that retail price is like slowly starting to like irk me. Like that's just it's a steep.
It's the price with everything now. You know, everything is inflated. So it's like,
And then we got to deal with the what is the EQL for like signing up for raffles.
For the raffle EQL.
Yeah, the
it's a fee.
yeah, you got to pay like almost damn near like $10 to get you get charged if you win, right? But
If you don't win, they don't charge.
yeah, if you don't win, they don't charge you. But it's like, all right, you paying the
To
retail.
enter the raffle, you have to pay. That's what you're
Yes,
telling me.
yeah. So the EQL is basically like guaranteeing that it's like a safe raffle, basically, and like if you do win, there's a fee to utilize the service.
That's not paid for by the brand.
Correct.
Child,
When I first saw that, I'm like,
let me think.
so y'all not gonna pay for this? Like, I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
That's like when you go get a gratuity. I ain't order this.
Who ordered this?
Who ordered
Can you take this off, please? I didn't order none of this. I
Damn
get
near-
the notion
Yeah.
trying to deter resellers.
Yeah.
But a reseller is going to be like, well, $7 to be able to flip this shoe and make 180.
And they might not be able to do that. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. So whoever did the train heist too, I got $4.
Yo, the train heist, talk to me.
I got $4.
please.
That was me. As soon as that happened, I said, look, I ain't trying to sound like that.
You
guy,
got them
but
for free.
come on, you got a size 9 out there.
They
You
did get them
wanna-
for free.
I got $4. That's more than you. Yeah.
I got this many.
I got this many.
This
We
many.
need this many. Okay.
We need this many
Yeah.
for sure. Talk to us. We would love to have the train heisters on the pod.
Hey, yo, not the train hikers on the pod is
Yo.
crazy.
Because what's crazy, I seen those videos and like before before I saw the videos, I automatically pictured those type of people that be like running on top of trains.
Yes.
And then I seen how chaotic of a operation it actually was. I was like, y'all just waited for the train to slow down, and then you just.
Yeah.
I was like, it wasn't as epic as I pictured in my mind.
Too much TV.
Yeah, too much TV. But those Aleli May 6s are definitely still, you brought that back to the forefront of my mind. That's a pair like I still need.
Yeah.
Because it's such a clean colorway.
First of all, her whole line is.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in her big one. Like, Aleli May is literally one of my favorites. So, like I said, I collected her shoes like Infinity Stones. And it's funny because I actually met her in 2022, I think that was. And I told her, I was like, babe, I'm collecting these shoes like Infinity Stones. So she started laughing. I said, no, I'm dead serious. I said, I think at that point I had one pair left, and it was the satin shadows.
Oh, okay.
And that was my last pair. I said, yeah, I got one pair left. And as soon as I find them.
We got to get you an Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, no, facts.
We got to get you one of
literally,
those.
I got them, and I got them the end of the year. That was, I think, like one of my gifts to myself. And I found them eBay. The guy was selling them for like $700. I said, I got $600 for you right now. And he was like, no, I think I said 500 or 5 and change. And he was like, make it 6, I'll cancel shipping. I said, yep.
Run that.
Put them in the mail.
Speaking of gifts to yourself, what's a grail right now that you would cop if money wasn't a...
Well, if money wasn't an issue?
Yeah, if money wasn't an issue.
What's a good one?
5, 4, 3.
Might be
2,
the Union
1.
Storm. What is it?
The Storm Blues?
Yeah.
Ah, That's a good pair. That's a good pair.
Probably those.
Yeah.
Or I would do another pair of Off-White for it.
Oh, yes.
The double.
A double up is necessary for those because they're so delicate and
I
like
wear
fragile. Yes.
I wear
It's a good, healthy wear. Not like our homie Ron,
Nah,
but
Oh.
that's a healthy wear.
Ron Jones
wear
belong to the streets.
I think he don't even know where they at this point, bro.
oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you a video after this. This video was damn near probably like 4 years ago, and that's when they were like dogged. But
Like, what do you do to a fish? Fillet? Some jaws was fillet.
Next John.
So, we just heard you speak on your women-specific releases for this month, which brings me to a question that I've seen asked around before, but I want to get your perspective on, which is, that a lot of women-specific releases are, at least they used to, be very overly feminized, I feel like. Oh, it has to be pink or purple, and it has to have laces or ruffles
Yeah.
like all this over the top stuff. I feel like when we know like women are so much more than just the feminized side of things. So like, how do you feel about that, being in the space and being a collector of women specifics and unisex shoes in general?
Yeah. I feel like it really depends. Yeah, it depends. It's one, what the shoe is and what the story is tying to that shoe. But I feel like we are in a much better space, I will say. Like, women's releases have definitely improved from what they used to be. So like that whole saying of like shrink it and pink it was a thing, because that's literally how all of our shoes were. Everything had to be pink. It might have been a little glitter here. Don't nobody want that. Like, literally how we felt was like, yes, it's nice to have women specific releases, but sometimes I literally just want what the boys have. Like that's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
But I feel like they definitely been improving. I do have some women's releases or like some things that have come out. I'm like, oh, I really like this. Or there are some I'm like, I'm not too crazy about that. And I think some of it comes down to like certain aspects of the shoe. So like, for example, it's not a women's specific shoe, I don't think, but it was the New Orleans Air Force One. So like the swooshes were glitter. But I would have preferred if they were like the Swarovski crystals, like,
okay.
Stuff like that. So I think down to like the details and like the materials that are used can really like change that effect essentially. Even like the Valentine's Day 3s that came out, they had like some little jewels or something like that hanging. I could have done without the jewels. I'd have been fine like with the shoe as is. So yeah, I feel like it really just depends, but we are in a better space than we have been in. But of course, there's still room for improvement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I know one thing I definitely noticed recently, because I'm a size 9 men, so I can get the 10.5 women's and still be good. So as somebody that's on the opposite side, that's a male that collects women specific releases that I can fit. The one thing I did notice that was like extremely annoying is when they do the different laces. So like some of the Jordan 1s and stuff,
Oh yeah.
when they're like women specific, I'll get my 10.5 and I'm just like, wait a minute, like why is the lace feel like this? And look
Yeah, it's like a dingy lace.
yeah, like it's not the same. Like it's
Okay.
not the same at all. And even sometimes with the rope laces, like I have like a few like women's Air Max 90s and stuff, and like they'll use like a satin
Yeah.
or like a different type, and I'm just like, yo, out of all the Air Maxes I have, or out of all the Jordan 1s or whatever the case I have, every lace is the same. And I'm like, when I get to the women's rendition, they
It's
change the
different,
lace,
yeah.
or it's a different lace tip.
But that's how I feel like about women's releases, women's and kids, because I could, flip between both.
Yeah.
So it's like the men's shoe that you see on like the blogs and like all of that kind of stuff, that's the standard shoe, right? So then you have like the women's and the kids shoe, and instead of just making the same thing smaller, they end up making it smaller, but your bubble is not going to have
Air unit.
3 holes.
Yeah.
It's not going to have this. Or instead of the swoosh being here, we've moved it up or we've moved it down. Oh, we know that we said it was going to be Vault Green, but yours is going to be electric green instead. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
why I couldn't get the same thing? All you had to do is just this and do this.
Prime example are the Jordan 6.
Yeah.
Like the pods on the side
Yeah,
are different.
different,
Like
yeah.
like the heel counter.
Yeah.
And like even the air unit on a smaller kid size
Yeah,
is
it's
just like
different.
either non-existent or
Yeah,
different.
really.
Yeah.
So like when you think about that kind of stuff, and then I'm trying to think who else. What was a shoe that I feel like I just had this. I feel like I'm always having this part of this conversation because I feel like it just comes up too often. And I feel like I get that there has to be some tweaks made to account for like the smaller size of the shoe. But if that's the case, they either got to up the technology to make sure it's viable and it's, able to happen on the entire, the full size run, or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I be getting cheated.
Nah.
And the price damn near be the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the price doesn't reflect
Yeah.
the changes.
Yeah.
It used to be like a sheer difference. Like, oh, the men's sizes was here in this bracket, and then it was the women/kids because those sizes kind of crossed.
The men's will be 180 and the women's will be 170, 175. And I'm like, but my colors is different. I'm missing the
Yeah.
air unit.
The box is different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Oh,
feel that.
that's one thing. I will say like certain shoes, especially women specifics, ones in my opinion that are tailored specifically for women are more comfortable. So like the padding on the
I agree.
inside is
I agree.
different. The sole is different. Baby, I could walk a mile.
I honestly feel like the craftsmanship is better too.
Yeah. Put me in a men's or like a boy. Baby, them feet be hurting. Them feet be hurting.
To wrap things up, Ash, we love to give free game here on this pod. So for all the girls out there, what's one piece of advice you can give to somebody that's really striving to find their creative way?
Oh, to find their creative way. So essentially, like in the beginning when we were talking about like I'm me, like I feel like you really just have to tap into who you are and what makes the most sense to you. I think having a really strong community as well plays a part into it. So I feel like people really get sucked into the idea essentially, or like what they think they should be doing, which is why we have 50,000 people kind of like doing the same thing now.
Yeah.
But I feel like just trying to step out of the box, or like step out of what everybody else is doing, I feel like definitely helps. Like I have some friends, like I look at their stuff creatively and I'm just like, how the fuck did you think of this? Like, how did you know? And I think part of that is also like, being well-traveled, reading, going outside. I make that joke, going outside, touching grass. But it's like, I feel like you have to do those kinds of things and have interactions with other people in order to kind of like jog and feed your own creativity. But like tap in with yourself and just do what makes sense and resonates the most to you. So.
A word.
Straight snap. A long word, but a word.
I don't know. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. I want to say thank you
Definitely.
for taking the time out and just vibing with us. We've been homies for a long time now, neighbors,
Ciao.
and just
Can you believe I almost been here 4 years now?
yeah, it's crazy. 4 years is wild to think,
Yeah.
and like it's always humbling to just rerun the journey right in your mind, and even if you look back at content that you did like when you first got here versus now, you can see the growth, and it's a beautiful thing to now understand and realize that all three of us are doing this full time, and like
Facts.
we are succeeding.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, we said before, overnight success is not real.
No.
Right. But we're
It's
creating
It's
that.
5 to 10 years
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah. We're creating that reality. And for all my sneakerheads out there, I hope you guys are tuned into this and you showing appreciation to the women out there and the women sneakerheads, because it is very essential. We are not a community without the women in this culture.
That's a fact.
Right. So
The
let's.
community was fostered on the backs of women. So
Yes, exactly. So let's just give a round of applause to Ash and the other women in the world that just help us become the better version of ourselves as men. So
Yeah.
we could close out this episode. You got any last words, Ash?
I will say follow me on social. My handle
Yes.
is I am the letter M, Ashley Hall. I also, like I said, I'm on a podcast called The Soul Table, so we gotta actually do a crossover episode.
Ooh, a crossover episode would be tough. Yeah.
So I'm on a Soul Table as well. I have a few things I am working on, so just put the good juju out there.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So this is the Niche Talk.
And remember, we're not powered by the other guys.
We are not. We are not. We are back full-fledged on our social media platforms. So make sure you guys are tuned into the YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We're about to be running all of this stuff. You're about to see a little bit more of Will. Now that he has his own chair and table, we're about to get him his own angle. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Shout out to Encanto for the space. This is our home, and we're going to treat it as such. And it's only up from here.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys. Love as always. Again, thanks, Ash. And
Deuces.
peace.
Y'all.